Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's football show, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin, delighted to have your company on this Monday. And in the studio alongside me, Alan Ruff and Alison McConnell. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. Yeah, lots to get our teeth into. We'll also look ahead to the midweek League Cup quarter-final ties as well. But there was interesting games over Saturday and Sunday in the Scottish Premiership as our reporter Gabrielle Antoniazzi looks back over.
Aberdeen delivered a proper smash and grab in Livingston, a 2-0 win, pushing them up to third. Ross County surprised the high-flying Motherwell to come from behind and beat them. St Mirren couldn't find a goal against a resolute 10-man Hamilton Academical. Celtic showed why they are champions as an Edouard doubled helped them to overturn Kilmarnock's early lead. Rangers scored 4 in the second half to continue their rich vein of form against bottom side St Johnstone, and it's Craig Levein and Hearts who win the Edinburgh Derby and shift all the pressure onto Hibs and Heckingbottom.
Thoroughly enjoyed the Edinburgh Derby. Alison, in the end, justice that Hearts won it?
Yeah, I think Hearts were the better team. I know Hibs had a wee spell where they commanded 5 or 10 minutes of the game after they'd scored, but I felt as though Hearts, on balance of play, deserved it. I felt they were the better team in the opening half, and I thought once they get the equaliser, I felt as though there was only going to be one winner in the game. I thought they were hungrier, thought they had more ideas, more creativity, and I don't know if it's just that they needed it more, that they needed the result more than Hibs did. I think it kept Craig Levein in a job for how long, I don't know, but I think it was a much needed result for Hearts.
Well, I'm going to cut him some slack here on this one, Ruffy. At the end of the day, I looked at both teams, two poor teams as far as the evidence of the start to the season, but I thought Craig Levein's side by far played the better football on the deck. They had a good player in Glenn Whelan who was experienced, who knew when to put his foot on the ball, when to pick a pass. He was always available. Machino looks a player. Couple of other disappointing ones, but I thought they got their just rewards.
Yeah, I think he was brave going 3 at the back at the start when I saw the team. I think his substitutions worked for him, as Alison said there. I think when Hearts got the goal, they believed more than Hibs that they could get the second one. I think Hibs were quite happy at 1-0. I don't think they believed they could get a second goal, so the momentum went towards Hearts and they got the goal, although I would say a bit fortunate because it hit off the boy's foot and deflected it high up into the air. I don't think it would went in. And we all don't like to see managers coming under pressure. We don't like to see guys getting sacked or moved on after 5 or 6 games. So this gives them a bit of breathing space. But it'd be interesting when the Aberdeen game comes because Hearts supporters demand that they get into semi-finals and finals. So it's another big one on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think he was keen to emphasise that he reckons this could be the turning point in the season.
I thought so. But I'm slightly biased, as you know. But I did think that we played better than Hibs today. And I feel that our confidence will grow enormously from this. We've got a hugely difficult game on Wednesday night against Aberdeen, and I'm sure that this result and performance will help us in that match.
And in the press conference, Ali, you were sitting there with me watching him highlight player after player after player that was potentially coming back into the squad. And I think from that point of view, he feels as if when he gets more and more quality back, they'll start to climb that table.
I think it's a fair argument to make. I just wondered, I was at Tynecastle last Saturday too, and I had wondered whether or not he would have the time to bring that level of experience back in. I think the result yesterday affords him a bit of breathing space. I don't know for how long, but I think when you look at the players who have to come in, it is a substantial amount of experience. Stephen Naismith is a quality player. He's a proven international. He's played at the top level in England. I think when you are a team down on your luck and struggling for results, you need the influence of players like that in the dressing room and out in the park. You also have John Souttar to come back, who I think might just help Craig Halkett. I think Craig Halkett has struggled a wee bit since he's made the move from Livingston. I think if you have someone like Souttar coming in beside him, it might just lend him a hand and talk him through games sometimes. So I think it's a fair argument to make. But I still think he's not entirely out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, if he's not out of the woods, there's one man who's actually just at the beginning of the woods over the next couple of weeks, because Paul Heckingbottom has lost the Derby. They've got Kilmarnock in the quarterfinals of the League Cup, and then they've got Celtic and Aberdeen on the horizon. But he still believes, even after the Derby defeat, that he's the man to turn things around.
Confidence, yeah, no problem. We've got that confidence. However, there's no hiding place from the fact of what's going wrong. Like I said, I think we should have been similar to the game when we played here last year. I thought we should have been out of sight and got punished then near the end. So yeah, we need to be more clinical, more ruthless. I'm looking at the attacking players on the pitch.
The world's gone mad, Ruffy, hasn't it? Because no sooner have we got Craig Levein with the fans calling for his head when they're 1-0 down. Suddenly it's 2-1, and then there's a group of fans. Not that many, by the way, I have to suggest to you, but there was enough there just shouting Heckingbottom out. They're not buying into him this year.
No, and I don't think he's bought into the fans either. I don't think he sold his sell the way wee Lenny did. You know, Lenny got involved with the supporters, and the supporters bought into everything he was doing. Yeah, there wasn't a lot outside, but there was enough, because Hibs and Hearts don't expect to be where they are in the league. It just doesn't happen. You know, they're always top six. They're always challenging, maybe touching third or in semi-finals. So these supporters demand the success, and they're just not getting it.
Yep, okay. You can give us your view on it if you're a Hearts fan or a Hibs fan. Long-term stay for Craig Levein, or is this just a stay of execution on his future at Tynecastle? And what about the Hibs fans and the performance, not only in the Derby, but Paul Heckingbottom, can he turn things around there as well? There were other crucial matches, of course, with the two going head-to-head at the top. There's always this feeling of how are Celtic doing, how are Rangers doing, one end to the other. Here's how it all transpired over Saturday and Sunday. Celtic 3-1 winners over Kilmarnock. Of course, Hearts win the Derby. Livingston 0, Aberdeen 2, Motherwell 1, Ross County 2, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 4, and St Mirren against Hamilton couldn't find a goal, 0-0. As far as Celtic were concerned, I don't know about you, Alison, but when they go a goal behind, you just look at them and think, well, they've got goals in them.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know when the last time was actually that Celtic played a domestic game and didn't score, but I think the point is it's not just that you have someone like Odsonne Edouard who can score out of nothing, but you have goals throughout the team. You've got Christie, you've got McGregor, you've got Forrest, who can all chip in, and I think from middle to front, Celtic are always a force to be reckoned with. I do think there is still a vulnerability about them defensively. I think when Foster scored that, when Foster saved that penalty with 5 minutes to go, you think it could maybe just be a wee bit needlessly hairy for the last 5 minutes. If that goes to 3-2, and I think he'd had a save from Eamon Brophy just beforehand, in a game where Celtic had so many chances, it could have been 5 or 6-0 up by that point. It does point to just a wee bit of fragility still defensively.
Yeah, dare I suggest it, Ruffy, by the time they actually get that settled back four of who they think are the strongest back four, including Julian, who had a hamstring worry and had to go off, but he seems to suggest in social media he's okay. The Bauer fullback set up a nice goal, so maybe they just need time now to try and cement themselves in. Certainly when you look at the evidence in the Europa League, they look as if they've got the makings of a good defence.
Yeah, I think the defence will eventually settle itself. It hasn't settled itself for the last 2 years, and that's where the problem that Alison's bringing up. You know, if you can have a settled back four and a goalkeeper, you all know what you're doing. You know, you understand your strengths and your weaknesses. If you keep taking out one full back one week, one full back the other, centre half next week, you're all over the place. It doesn't matter what team you're in. So as soon as they get a back four settled, I think the goalkeeper will be in there now. You know, I still say with the form Aberdeen and Hibs and Hearts, come December, we've got a two-horse race here.
Yeah, okay. So it's Celtic taking on your old side, Partick Thistle. Ruffy, any shocks there now that Thistle have got a new manager and Ian McConnell, he's in there. Will he make a difference?
Well, he's going to have to deal with the same players that's in there. We've seen some managers getting in and getting the better out of certain players. I don't think he's going to be able to do it until January, until he's got his own ideas to bring whatever players he thinks he can bring in, depending on what the budget is there. Every new manager, he's a manager in form. If you're
Yeah.
going to look at the Championship, it's the right time for him to come to a bigger club, and he's been there before. So I'm sure he'll get something out of some of the players.
Yeah, do you think they're getting a better Ian McCall second time around?
Oh, certainly on the form he's with Ayr. Nobody thought he would have taken Ayr the way they are now and last year. So he must be doing something right.
Yeah, okay. As far as Kelly are concerned, Ali, they've got Hibs. Who comes out on top in that one?
Kilmarnock for me. I think Hibs look like a team defeated. I think they have an air of despondency about them. I think there seems an inevitability about the direction they're going in just now. I don't think they've got the fight or the heart or the character to go and bounce back from the defeat yesterday. I think it's one thing to lose a derby game, but to lose it in the manner they did, I thought they were insipid. I didn't think they merited much from the game. I didn't think there was much spine about them at all, and I just can't see anything other than a Rugby Park win on Wednesday night.
Okay, Ruffy, is that
No, I
like...
agree with everything Alison said, but I'm going to go for a Hibs win.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's like... And the more Alison started to absolutely hammer Hibs there, and I thought, should we ask her to that meal we're going to in Leith, or will we just leave her on her own? Listen, you get her opinion, that's for certain on this programme. We're going to talk about Rangers. Rampant Rangers against St Johnstone after this week's quiz. So there you are. You could win yourself a T-shirt, a PLZ team T-shirt in the colours of your favourite team. It's as simple as that. And, I think it was an easy one because Ruffy was smiling and so was Alison as well. So that gives an indication because those two, as you know, are murder at quizzes. so they're on the case. Anyway, what about Rangers, Ruffy? 4-0. Manager complimenting Alfredo Morelos. He started to toe the line, screw the nuts, call it anything you want in the west of Scotland, but he's concentrating on playing the football, scoring the goals. And of course, when you've got Defoe scoring as well, it augurs well.
Yeah, I think the pennies eventually dropped with him. Obviously, he was the main striker. Maybe it just got a wee bit above himself with some of the stuff he was carrying on with. But obviously, Defoe coming in, he saw that if he gets a chance, he's going to score goals as well, and he's going to be left sitting on the bench. And surely, as a footballer, you would have to say, that's not where I want to be. And so when he's given a chance, he's still scoring.
It was a little controversial moment in the game when Andrew Dallas obviously decided that St Johnstone thought they'd scored, but then he denied them the goal, and then the Rangers raced up the other end of the park and scored. I don't think it would have made a blind bit of difference, but it's still a contentious moment that from 2 or 3 angles you actually look and say, well, looks as if the referee called it correctly.
Yeah, it was an odd one. I saw it, the first angle I saw it from, I thought it looked a clear goal. It looks as though the ball's a good bit over the line. When you see it from the other side, I agree, it looks as though the ball hasn't crossed the line. So I can see why he made the call that he did. Ultimately, you look at a 4-0 win and you think, well, it's if St Johnstone get a goal back, it's little more than statistical note. However, going to 2-1 is very different to 3-0. So who knows how it would have affected the balance of play. But I think you can look at it and see why he made the call that he did. And I think overall it seemed to be a very dominant Rangers performance.
Yeah, Ryan Jack's offered a new deal and I think well worthy of it. He's impressed Ruffy as far as the midfield. He's progressed as a boy and he's obviously, I think, close to jumping into that Scotland squad if some of the key first team selections drop out. I think he's more than able as a deputy because he's progressing more and more.
Yeah, it'd be a hard shift to move the 3 that are in the Scotland team just now because they're all at the top of their game just as well. So, no, he's been a main player for them, particularly in the European games as well. And he has been one player since the manager came that he has improved 100%.
Yep. Elsewhere, I didn't see Motherwell losing against Ross County, but indeed they did. Ross County dug in there, and in the end, Motherwell got a player sent off with a thing at 1-1, just swayed the balance in County's favour.
It's interesting, isn't it? I saw a few things before the game on Saturday. I think the pitch looked absolutely beautiful. I don't know if it was Motherwell himself who'd put a drone out, but there was this beautiful footage of a perfectly sunny day in this lush green grass and celebrating Alan Burrow's 12th year in charge at the club. And you think the scene is set for a Motherwell win, and then all of a sudden the score comes through and it raised a few eyebrows. But I think that is the problem this season for Motherwell, is going to be one of consistency. If you're on a run where they had, I think, 3 wins they had been on successively, I think you have to try and build on it. I think you have to try and maintain some kind of form, and certainly in your home games, and I think that's what would be their undoing this season.
Yeah, I don't think very rarely you have to correct someone or just enlighten them of a few facts, but obviously Ali's not aware that Lanarkshire, Ruffy, there's lush green grass everywhere, there's sunshine in that area. I mean, if you're lucky enough to live in that area, fine, but if your visa's not been checked, it's just simple as that. Clarkson, sorry, you're not getting into Motherwell. I mean, we have parts like that everywhere, Ruffy.
That part in particular has improved 100%, you know, from all the stick that it used to get. So all credit to them. I think they spent a lot of money on it, and it did look good. And they have looked good as well.
Yeah, but you're not buying into the fact I've tipped them for top 4, are you?
Well, I'm not. Particularly because games against Ross County at home, you have to win them.
Yeah, who's going to stop them from finishing in the top 4?
I would expect Hibs and Hearts will get their act together.
What?
Yep.
We've just talked about them being ranked rotten.
At the moment they are, but I wouldn't expect them to be like that for the whole season.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, I sense a wager coming on here, Ruffy.
Let's say then Hibs or Hearts will overtake Motherwell before the end of the season.
Well, that's not slightly. Listen, the great thing about you is you love things heavily weighed in your favour. Give me one of them.
Okay, I'll go with Hibs.
Hibs to finish above Motherwell.
Yeah.
In
End of the season.
take that.
No, just above them.
You said top 4.
No, he said top 4.
Well, I said they'll finish 4th. They'll finish 4th. So are Hibs going to...
No, the bet is I say Hibs will be above Motherwell.
So they'll finish
At the end of
4th.
the season. No, I don't think Motherwell will be 4th.
You don't think they'll be in the top 6?
I said they wouldn't be in the top 4.
This is unbelievable, by the way. Do you know what it's like? It's like being in 5th year again, isn't it? You're arguing with your mate over something completely and utterly insane. Anyway, I'll work out a bet with you. I'm almost certain on that. And the reason I say that, Ali, is because Aberdeen get absolutely battered by Livingston and came away with a 2-0 win in the 3 points.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I hate to say it again, but you go back to that pitch and you think, I just think so many teams toil to go there and get a result. Yeah, Aberdeen go, sustain the pressure and then leave with 3 points. I don't know quite how they've done it, but I'm sure that it'll be welcome in any case. Another team who desperately need just to find a level of consistency to replicate the feats that they've had over recent season.
Yep, I think the 2 teams that played out a 0-0 draw at the weekend, Ruffy, are 2 that we tipped for the bottom, St Mirren and Hamilton. It had all the potential of a draw. I tipped it for that. It was one where the defence is on top, strikers couldn't find a goal.
No, there wasn't many chances either. And obviously St Mirren thought they could have won it, obviously, with the sending off. I thought that they were going to take one of the chances they got, but they never. They just haven't got the ability to do it.
Let's have a look at the table just to see exactly how this all pans out. And there you have it, St Johnstone at the bottom. They've conceded 17 goals. And look at that deficit there. Tommy Wright certainly got problems. Hibs down there now as Hearts leapfrog them. Moving up the table, St Mirren and Hamilton still there close in the mix. And again, at the top end, it's Celtic and Rangers. And then it's almost 2 or 3 leagues within the league that we're going to see develop over the next few weeks and months, with Celtic still out on top by 3 points, and every weekend and midweek we'll be looking to see which one is going to slip up. Okay, Ruffy, never mind working out bets. What about the head-to-head? Because I am seriously worried about you now. That is not good for you. You're a long way back already, Ruffy. Do you want to concede now and we can just go out for a meal?
Used to getting the rub of the green.
Yeah.
I've got correct results up in 3 minutes into injury time, and then there's goals popping up. So I need to be a Craig Levein. I need to get a wee break.
Yeah. yeah, like you're going to cut him some slack. On that point as well, we were lucky enough to catch a photograph of Barry there before he got on a plane after that 3-0 thumping from Auchinleck Talbot. See, I've got your disease now, Auchinleck Talbot. Anyway, the last point I'm going to make on this is the Premiership, of course. 8-0 for Manchester City. Alisson suddenly, dare I say it, you'll love this. Leicester City boss Brendan Rodgers, favourite to replace Pochettino at Spurs. 8-2 3 days ago, and he's now moved to 7-2 to take over from Pochettino. I didn't even know Pochettino was under pressure.
I don't think he is under pressure. Funnily enough, when Brendan Rodgers was still at Celtic, I always felt as though the Spurs job might be a viable next step for him, just because they have been starved of success for so long. And I wondered if he might just be the fit. I'm not sure if he had to go elsewhere first just to raise his profile that bit more. I think he's had an excellent start to the season. I think they're the second at the minute, third at the minute.
Yeah.
I thought a tremendous win for them at the weekend. They got a bit of luck too. I think if that Spurs goal had stood, then it changes the game. It's almost the opposite effect of what we're talking about between the Rangers and St Johnstone game. But yeah, his stock is high again at the minute. And
I think time is a great healer for Celtic fans who'll look back on him.
Ultimately, I think yes, but not anytime soon.
Yeah, okay. There's a word, Ruffy. Rodgers for the Spurs job. It looks as if you're talking about a 2-horse race in Scotland. I think over the next couple of months it's going to become Liverpool, Man City and the rest are just battling for the Europa League.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Apart from Man United, they're going to be battling just to stay mid-table if they keep this up.
Yeah, their consistent level's poor as well, but I don't think Spurs are going to sack their manager. You get to the final in the Champions League one year and then you're out the next?
Yeah.
Surely not.
No. Can't happen.
So,
Could it happen? Who knows? We'll certainly be there to talk about it if indeed it does. But nevertheless, hopefully you'll join us. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join our ever-growing football family across Twitter and Instagram, and of course every night, Monday to Friday, 5:30. Thanks to Alison McConnell and also Ruffy for joining us on the programme. Tomorrow we'll have Hugh McDonald and Darren Jackson will be with us in the studio, and we'll be looking ahead in greater detail to the quarterfinals of the League Cup. But from Ali, Ruffy and myself, thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.